Ladies and gentlemen, the captain here. If you enjoyed my content, do me a favor. Like the video, comment on the video, share the video, and of course, hit that subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the love and support. Until next time, I'm gone.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in. This is the Captain's Quarter Show, and I am your host, L. Milliner, the Captain. It is a good Tuesday morning. Hope you all are having a great one. I am so far. I will be getting started here momentarily, but as you come in, hit that like, hit that share. If you're coming in on Facebook, like, share. If you're coming in on YouTube, hit that like and share it as well. Appreciate you. I will be getting started here momentarily, so just sit tight. All right, all right. So, before we get started, I got some great topics to discuss. Also, I will be linking the link to the show if you want to join. Um, if you dare, I people that know me, man, I do not run from any smoke. All right, whatever topic you want to discuss, I am not running. All right. Um, Now, I will link that here in just a minute. But I want to first go ahead and do just a little advertisement. So I want y'all to check out my shirt. All right. Y'all see that? Christ is King. Now, if you want a shirt like this one or something else that's pro God, pro America, head on over to theofficertatumstore.com. Pick out your shirt, pick out your hoodie, your cap, whatever you like. Add it to your merchandise. All right. When you get to checkout, put in discount code ELIS. You will get 10% off your total. All right. I've bought this shirt. I got a couple more shirts. Um, the discount code works as long as there's no other promotion going on at the time. So, um, yeah, go to theofficertatumstore.com, pick out your merchandise, go to checkout, put in discount code ELIS, get 10% off your total. All right. Now, had to team up with my guy, the Officer Tatum, man. He's an awesome guy. He's got this promotion thing going on. So just thought I would link up with him. I buy the merchandise. Why not promote it to you guys as well? So, all right. So much going on in good old Montgomery, Alabama. Good old Montgomery, man. If people are not aware, there was a shooting that occurred. All right. Uh, this was, man. That had been like back in April, like April something. Amy Dix, okay, lady was in her car riding down Atlanta Highway, right in front of Eastdale Mall, Mapco gas station, right there in that little area. Was at the red light apparently, and gunfire erupted. A bullet, at least one bullet, hit her and paralyzed her from the chest down. All right, from the chest down. It took a while, but they did apprehend one person. All right, one suspect has been apprehended. Okay, um, I do have that news story. I'm gonna pull that up, and we're gonna kind of go through it because he's been charged with assault and, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of more charges. But attempted murder is not a charge as of yet. Okay, and I'm gonna kind of go through it and kind of dissect what occurred and why the charges are what they are for right now. And by the way, this young man that allegedly did the shooting or was a participant in the shooting, he did receive a bond of $90,000 and he did bond out. Right, so he's right back out on the street. Yeah. So welcome to good old Montgomery, Alabama, where if you shoot up innocent people and you hit them, you will bond out. All right. It just I know if you're in Ohio or somewhere like that, I saw a guy up there get like 16, $17 million bond. I've never seen that in Alabama or Montgomery. All right. Just haven't seen it. Uh man, I don't know. But anyway, y'all, this is the link right here. Link to the show right here. Because I'm gonna be talking about not only this shooting that happened and this guy that's been arrested and charged and bonded out, but I got another topic about women and men and the relationship between the two. Should women be submissive to men? Should women be independent of men? I'm gonna really talk about this because this has been a big topic as of late. People been tagging me in posts and on Facebook, and ladies been coming at me. All right, so again, I don't run from the smoke. We're gonna have this conversation, and if any of them want to jump on here, I already sent them the invitation. Y'all are welcome to join the show. I don't mind at all. All right, now what's up to Loser on YouTube? Greetings, Captain. Greetings, my fellow comrade. Greetings. Hope everything's going well up there in DC area. All right. I believe that's where you say you're from, DC area. So shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see here. He says, when I see this in California or New York, I expect this kind of thing, but when I see it in Alabama, I get nervous. Yo, it's bad. It's bad. So real quick, for anybody who maybe watched this that may not know, all right, Alabama is a permitless state, all right, permitless state, which means you can carry a firearm with no permit as long as you are of age and you don't have any prior felonies or any reason why you shouldn't carry a firearm. Okay, that went into effect January 1 of 2023 last year. Okay, very new law, and people have an issue with this law. All right, now I'm gonna kind of go through this real quick. Yeah, man. He said, "Yep, DC, good memory." Yeah, man. I thought so. I thought so. Appreciate you being here. Now, let's talk about this law and the issues that we're seeing. Then I'm gonna get to this specific situation incident that happened to Amy Dix getting paralyzed. So Alabama used to have to go down to your local sheriff's department, fill out the application. As long as you don't have any priors, as long as you don't have any kind of mental illness going on, then they would mail you your permit. All right, you pay your $20 or for a year, or your whatever was $50 for 2 years, or whatever $100 for 3 years, or whatever it was, and you would get your permit. All right, but the Alabama legislature passed the law where you can be permitless. All right, so we don't need a permit right now. Now, mind you, the shootings in Montgomery, Alabama, we've always had higher crime than average. Like if you look at the state average, even the national average, Montgomery has always, I've been on earth for 36 years. I've had my foot on Montgomery or Alabama soil for probably like 95% of my life. Okay. Ever since I can remember, we've had higher crime than the average, whether it be violent crime, property crime, whatever. Now, it got worse. Came 2019, 2020. We got a new mayor. He got elected in 2019, Mayor Stephen Reed. That year, we ended up with like 42 homicides. Before he got into office, we were averaging less than 40. So really in about the 30, 35 range. And anybody that tells me different is a liar. Okay? I'm gonna call you a liar. I'll tell you that to your face. I've already done it to several people. All right. So I'm going to tell you you're a liar because we averaged 30 to 35 basically from the 90s all the way up to the late 2010s. All right. Before he got into office. All right. You can look a year in, year out. You see 25, 27, 32, 31, 36. And then we had 50 in 2013. That was the most that I had seen in my lifetime. 50. And I remember everybody was talking about how many homicides there was. That was astronomical for the city. That averaged, like I said, 30 to 35-ish. 2019 happened, 42. 2020 came about. We broke the record. Okay? It was 70, I want to say like 72 or 73, something like that. Broke the record. The following year, 2021, we broke that record. And I think it was like 77, 78. Okay. And really, it was like 84 shooting deaths or deaths at the hands of another person. But I think about around 10 of those were deemed to be self-defense. Okay. So it's not homicide if it's self-defense. That's a total different charge. Self-defense is no charge. So they don't call it homicide. Homicide is when you have the intent to kill somebody else and do it, or you may not have the intent, but because you did it, somebody else died and it was negligent or whatnot. That's just to kind of give y'all the understanding of that. Now, then 2022 came around. We had like another 62, 63. So if you're seeing the trend, we're in the 70s, low 60s. Last year we went back to the 70s. All right, like 75, I think is what we ended up with. If you see the pattern, when Mayor Reed got in the office, things went downhill real quick. Crime has gone up. We've lost police officers. We've got about 200 and between, I would say 220 and 260, somewhere in that range of police officers. We should have well over 500. That's what it is. We're supposed to have well over 500. We got way less than 300, more like closer to 200 than 300. Anyway, people want to blame the shootings that we're having now this year. I keep seeing these politicians, I keep seeing regular everyday citizens complaining about the permit law. Well, these young people are having these guns because they can have a gun now, and there's no law saying they can't have one. No, that's not the case. That is not what's going on. Like I said, we broke the record once and then broke that record before this law went into effect. So this law has not increased the homicides or the shootings or whatnot. The people that are committing the crimes never were going to have a permit in the first place. Understand that the people who are robbing and shooting random people in the streets, shooting into cars, houses, buildings, those individuals aren't taking the time. When the permit law was in effect where you had to go get a permit, they weren't going to get a permit, weren't going to do it. They're called criminals. Criminals typically, like 98, 99% of criminals don't take the time to go and get a permit or license to go do something. A lot of them don't even have an ID, a driver's license, but they're driving a car. Why would they go get a permit for a gun that they probably shouldn't even have? They probably legally can't even have the gun, but they're still carrying the gun and using it. So quit blaming the permit law. It has nothing to do with what's going on. Okay. I have a gun. I have a couple guns. I don't use my guns on people. I have it ready in case I do need to use it, and I'm very willing to use it, but I'm not out here robbing people. I'm not out here to hurt people. Right? Only people with the mindset in the heart, an evil heart, will actually use that tool to hurt somebody. Just like people with knives do the same thing. People can pick up a hammer, a bat, scissors. You can hurt people with all kind of items. It happens every day. You just don't hear about it because a gun wasn't used. If a gun gets used, it gets magnified because it's a gun. Ooh, big bad guns. Let's be real. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about Amy Dix getting shot and paralyzed. So I'm going to bring in this news article. Let's see here. While I do that, Loser says, so in Alabama, you can conceal carry without a permit, or is it only open carry? You can conceal. Conceal. Yep, it's concealed. This is a spot on analysis. Appreciate you. That cuts right through the superficial anti-gun arguments. I appreciate that. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to just give. I'm gonna call it like I see it. I people can say that I'm being biased or whatnot, and I'm being everybody's biased. Let's keep it 100. Everybody's biased to something that they believe. Whatever you believe, you're biased to that belief. Okay. I believe in the freedom of people to own weapons. All right, guns, whatever they want to have. I don't mind them having it. It's just that when it comes to certain people, they shouldn't have a gun, right? Based on maybe already having a criminal activity or maybe having a mental illness, something like that. I don't mind those individuals not having a gun. I don't necessarily mind that. You know, especially if you had a violent crime already. You don't need a gun. All right. That's just what I just believe that. But when it comes to the overall crime, let's put the blame where it needs to be. Not on the gun, but on the people that are using the gun. That's what we need to do. So people get lost in the whole gun thing and think it's about guns. The gun doesn't shoot itself. You can't throw a gun and it's going to like hit the ground and just start shooting everybody. That's not what happens. There are certain mechanisms in place that guns have where you have to pull the trigger and then several mechanisms happen before that bullet gets shot out the gun. Okay, you can't just point the gun and it's just gonna magically shoot. That's not how it works. Sadly, people do not understand this. They really think guns are just like you touch a gun, it's gonna go off. If that happens, the manufacturer didn't. Something happened within the manufacturing of the gun. It's like that's called it's like a recall, right? Like on like a car. If you don't hit the gas, but the car accelerates, it's not because all cars do that. It's because that car had an issue when it was made to where it does that. So like anyway. All right, I don't want to get too far off track. Now let me get back to Amy. Let me get back to Amy. So let me pull up this article. And I told some people, I said, you know what? I said, you know what? The person that did this shooting, I could we all know pretty much what they're gonna look like. It's gonna be a male. I said between 15 and 25. I said he would be a resident of Montgomery. I said he would have light to dark skin, probably have dreads or twists, or have hair that looks like J. Cole. If you know who J. Cole is, look at his head, and that's probably the person would have look similar to that. Would be a fan of NBA YoungBoy, Lil Baby, and whatever other degenerate rapper rapping about homicides and stuff. And lo and behold, I'm gonna show y'all a picture of the guy in just a minute. And he was 20 years old, by the way. So right in the middle of what I said, 15, 25, he was 20. How did I know that? Anyway, let's check out this video from WSFA. See what they're talking about.
Suspected of firing the shot that left a Montgomery woman paralyzed is out of jail on a $90,000 bond. Over the weekend, we learned 20-year-old Michael Johnson was arrested and charged with assault and discharging a gun into an occupied vehicle. Tonight, WSFA 12 News reporter Julia Avent gets reaction from the district attorney, who says the bond was too low.
Any case like this where there's a shooting, there's a homicide, or there's a shooting of a person who's seriously injured, your bail should be so high that for those two things, public safety and to send a message.
Now, shooting suspect Michael Johnson is free to live and work within the community.
Man, y'all see this face, right? Y'all see this face, right? I mean, hair is I don't know what we call that, dreads or whatnot. Point is, he basically looks exactly what I was saying. He's 20 years old, darker skin, long twist in his hair, dreads, whatever, I don't know, whatever you want to call it technically. Now, the only thing I missed on was I said he would be a resident of Montgomery, and I was told he's a resident of Prattville, which is 15 minutes up the road. I mean, it's right there. They caught him in Pelham, Alabama, which is up like 20 miles south of Birmingham. So he was about an hour away from here. But anyway, hey, don't call me a psychic, prophet, none of that stuff, man. Because I mean, I'm just saying, typically what the person would look like, and here, bam, there it is. Anyway, let's keep listening to the news article and see what they say.
Community as he pleases, released on a $90,000 bond. Montgomery County District Attorney Daryl Bailey says he and his office met with the Montgomery Police Department before the suspect was charged.
We look at the law and we look at what we're able to prove with the evidence that they have at the time, and we advise law enforcement on what we believe are proper charges that we can prove in the court of law.
Bailey says MPD did not take his advice. He says there were additional charges that could have been filed. Bailey also blames legislation.
You know, Anya's law is a great law. It's there to protect our community. But when attempted murder and assault one are not included, that's a problem.
That
is a problem. That's a huge problem. So people that don't know about Anya's law. Anya's law was put into place after Anya Blanchard was kidnapped, murdered by a monster of a person. All right, I believe the guy was a serial killer, but anyway, after she died, her mother and family apparently they pushed and pushed and pushed for this law, and so basically the law says people that allegedly commit murder, rape, kidnapping, and some other violent crimes, except for apparently assault is not a part of it, and attempted murder is not a part of it. But if you allegedly rape a woman, kidnap someone, I think if you're like a pedophile, harm a kid, or murder somebody, then you'll go to a no bond hearing. All right, you have a court basically, for your bond, and then in the name of Anya's law, they can give you no bond. But since attempted murder and assault are not parts of Anya's law, this person got a $90,000 bond and he's out of jail.
Justice has yet to be served. Both the DA and Montgomery County Commissioner Doug Singleton are proud of the community coming forward to help make Montgomery a safer place.
It's just the heart of the community. Again, you read about the bad things. You don't ever really see about the really good people here because the bad ones always make the headlines. But there are so many great folks here that have stepped up and donated money, bought Boston butts, and they did it just to help another neighbor.
Singleton says the community came together to raise over $12,000 for Amy Dix's family. He says the result of this shooting will affect the family forever. We reached out to MPD over comments from Bailey that officials there didn't take his advice. Police leaders say in this case they requested for the highest bond available for the 3 charges they filed against Johnson. Val.
Yeah. So once again, it seems that the judicial system is failing us. All right. So this whole crime issue is several layers. There's different tiers to it. There's the city level where we have a mayor who can care less about the crime, the violence. Like this man is worried about becoming the president of the African American Mayor Association or whatever it is. He's getting that accolade. He's gonna be in New York if he didn't go already. I think he's in New York City right now, maybe. Doing the Smart City Association forum thing up there. Right. So like look into that. That's a whole I've talked about that before, but y'all go look up that the Smart City Initiative or Smart City, whatever it's called. Look up Smart Cities. That's on its way. But anyway, our mayor headed to New York City to speak at that engagement. He's not worried about Montgomery, Alabama and what we got going on. But anyway, we have that going on. We don't even have a chief of police. There's the chief. This is our second chief of police in the last like 4 years. Chief Finley was basically forced out back in like 2020 or 2021 or something like that. We got Chief Daryl Albert from New Orleans, where apparently he was having a lot of issues there. They hired him here in Montgomery, and he's gone now. He left like I want to say a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. So at the city level, we have the leadership is in disarray. All right. Then you look at MPD lacking officers. We're down 250 officers or something like that. Ridiculous. Then on the legislative side, we've got Philip Ensler. I've had him on my show. He was on here in the last summer, if I'm not mistaken. He represents District 2. District 74. Sorry, wrong. District 2 is the House of Representatives. He's a state legislator, so he's in District 74, which covers Montgomery, Alabama. And I mentioned to him about the whole law, changing the law about getting people more higher bond. Like, what are we doing? I had Greg Albritton out of Mobile area, state legislator down that way. Had him on. Same thing. Asked him about it. Now he said these judges have a thing called discretion, right? So basically, the way he explained it, the legislatures can't make or force the judges to have like a very small choice of a leeway of who to give a certain bond to. So they try to give it make it general so that the judge has the discretion to, based on the situation, based on the certain case that he or she is seeing, they can make a better decision on a bond, the bond that makes the most sense for that certain situation. That's the way it was explained. But that's a problem because we're seeing individuals who are, they get in trouble when they're juvies. So they're like 12, 13, 14, 15, getting in trouble, assaulting people, robbing people, whatever the case, doing violence. And when they get to be an adult, as this individual, this Michael guy that shot Amy Dix allegedly, apparently allegedly, I don't have any proof of this, but I did see where he possibly has a juvenile record because he was a juvenile. If he did commit a crime, then that has apparently no bearing on him as an adult. So he's 20 years old now. He maybe shoots somebody and paralyzes somebody. Well, now it's looked at like he's like a clean slate. Like he has no priors because he hasn't done anything as an adult. He possibly did it when he was a juvenile. That's an issue because he's the same guy. Granted, people do grow up and they change, right? You can evolve as a person spiritually and just understanding consequences for your actions, like as you get older. Granted, I understand that. But if you're committing a violent crime or committing crimes against people at 14, 15, and then you turn around at 20 and you're still involving yourself in crime, now come on. You know, that ain't that far. I mean, just saying, this is my guesstimation because I don't have anything to show you guys in black and white. That's why I'm saying allegedly and all that. All right, because I'm not saying that he did this stuff when he was a juvenile, but I've heard rumbles that that's what happened. That's an issue. It's an issue. We need to fix that. We need to fix that. I get if you're like 12, 13, you steal a car, you go to Walmart, you steal some CDs. Oh, excuse me, can't steal CDs no more because do they even sell CDs anymore? That was what the guys did back when I was like 13, 14. Right? I didn't steal CDs, but my friends stole CDs. They used to go to Walmart and steal CDs. So if you do that when you're 12, 13, when you get to be, 25, it's like, and you haven't done anything, then I get it. You should probably have that expunged, right? Because you've gone over 10 years not doing anything. But this guy is 20, still pretty young, but an adult is committing crimes, violent crimes, allegedly. It's a problem. You should go look back and look at his priors. I don't care if he was a juvenile. $90K is crazy, but yeah, this guy looks like a real winner. Yeah. And it's just there again. I bet y'all, I did the radio show, News Radio 1440. I was on that like 2 Wednesdays ago. We do a show once a month called The Kitchen Table. All right, on News Radio 1440 AM.com. News Radio 1440.com. Right? And we talk about the family, we talk about crime, we talk about, men, women, and raising kids and that type of thing. And it came up in that conversation about, these kids. And I was like, look, you show me a child, a young boy or a teenager, whatnot, an adult that's committing violent crimes against people, and I'll show you a boy or a young man that was raised by a single mother. Right? Not saying every last one is this case, but by and large, generally speaking, most boys that are raised by single mothers are the ones that go and commit these crimes. It's just the way it is. So I bet you this young guy, Michael, whatever, I bet you he's been raised by a single mother. I put money on it. All right, I bet money on it. Anyway. Trying to think, anything else I need to say about this situation? Look, the charges. So it's not attempted murder because attempted murder, from my understanding, attempted murder has to have intent to kill, right? So you have to intend to kill. Now, at this point in the investigation, they may not know if he had an intent to kill this woman that he paralyzed. Now, perhaps I saw an idiot say this right here. I saw an absolute idiot. I hope you're watching this right now, idiot, because you said this right here. Well, Did he know her? Because if he didn't know her, then how would he intend to kill her? How would you? Nobody intends to kill people that they don't know. Idiot. People kill people every day that they try to kill that they don't know, that they never met before. Right? There are people in this world that don't care who you are, where you come from. They don't care if you're a mommy, a daddy, a granddaddy. What I watched a man in Atlanta, Georgia. He was a grandfather. He's walking to his car. This man is 60, 70. Easy. Walking to his car. Another man walks right up behind him, shoots him point blank in the head. He didn't know the guy. He robbed the guy, shot him in the head, killed him, robbed the guy. All this was on camera. They're both black, by the way. But this idiot said, if you don't know the person, why would you intend to kill him? Because people are evil. That's why. So anyway, perhaps this guy was shooting her for a specific reason, but we just don't know the reason yet. Maybe police know the reason. Maybe they don't know the reason yet. Right? It could have been some kind of gang initiation. It could have been mistaken identity. Maybe he thought he was shooting at a certain individual that looks like this lady, and it turned out to be a different person. That could happen. It's a lot of scenarios where this person could shoot Amy Dix on purpose with the intent to kill, but he doesn't really know her. There's plenty of scenarios where that could be the case. But the reason at this point that he only has the assault is because they haven't proven that intent part. I think that the intent is the issue here. All right. So just giving y'all my 2 cents on that part. All right. Because I do understand. I did see Amy Dix post about this guy getting caught and saying, you know, how could he only get assault? Right, instead of like attempted murder is what I understood her to want him to have, which I understand that, Amy. I get it. I do understand that. But we got to look at the law of it and let the investigation play out. Now, the whole part about the guy getting the bond, that's a whole nother thing. That's the judges. Whatever judge that was over his case, they need to be held responsible for that. That's ridiculous. But yeah. You know, as the investigation goes on, they will probably up the charges. Okay, but you as officers and as DA and all that, you don't want to overshoot, all right, by upcharging and then later having to lower. Like, you don't want to do that. So you want to start with something that you know that you can prove, then you work your way up. All right, just saying. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a police officer or anything, but I've done a lot of research and I've seen case after case after case after case of things happening. And so I can kind of put a good scenario together, right? Any idiot can do it, right? You just watch and learn a few things, all right? But I hope she gets justice for Amy. Also, justice for Miss Gloria Cruz, who was like 64 years old and got gunned down in her own yard, last week? This lady was out minding her business. Gunshots start going off. She had to get her grandkids in the house. She didn't make it. She saved the grandkids, but she didn't make it. 64 or something like that, years old. As far as I know, you know what? Let me see if they caught the person yet. I don't believe they did yet. Hold on a second. Let me see. Nope, haven't done it. Let me pull up her. Let me see. Let me pull up the article about her shooting. Let me find it. All right, let me share this so y'all can see. This lady was minding her own business in her own yard and got gunned down and died. So here's that article right here. Let's see. Yeah, this was Mother's Day. Mother's Day. So this is the 21st. So we're talking a week and a day ago. This happened on Mother's Day. Let's play this.
Montgomery police searching for the person responsible for shooting and killing a woman last night. Police were called to the 4200 block of Covington Road around 7 last night on reports of a shooting. There, responders found the body of Gloria Cruz of Montgomery. Police have not yet announced any suspects in the case. If you have information, call Crime Stoppers immediately.
So yeah, that's man, and that's off Virginia Loop Road. Virginia Loop Road is right there off of Troy Highway, and if you know anything about Montgomery, that's a rough area. That's a rough area over there. I grew up over there on that side. I used to go to daycare. I went to elementary school, everything on Virginia Loop Road back in the day, back in the 90s. It was rough back then, but over time, it got rougher. All right, so yeah, that's a bad area, man. God bless her though. God bless her family. That's man. And like I said, they have no suspects right now. I mean, if they have a suspect, we don't know about it. Nobody has been arrested, and they did her reward. The reward for her information on who shot her was like $1,000. And last time I saw it, it was like $16,000, something like that. So excellent. Excellent. Somebody, if you know anything about what happened to Gloria Cruz, call Crime Stoppers, call your local PD, and let them know what you saw, what you heard, what you've been told, so we can figure out who did this. That lady didn't deserve it. She didn't deserve that. Let's see. So, and there again, before I change shift gears here, then there again, the person or people that did that shooting, we kind of know where they're from, what they, their whole description, right? It just is what it is, right? It just is what it is. But we got to stop lying and making it seem like it's not the same type of individuals doing the crime. They tend to be a certain age, look a certain way, carry themselves a certain way, come from a home where it's just mother raising them, or grandmama, or auntie, or somebody. There's no dad around like that. Come on, we gotta be real. We gotta be honest and quit lying, right? I can't be the only person out here in Montgomery telling the truth, right? I can't just be me. It's got to be other people that's gonna be honest and say, look, there's an issue in this area right here. Yeah, everybody has issues. We understand. All groups and cultures have issues, but it's predominant in Montgomery that a certain culture of people are committing the violence, and they're doing it against majority people that come from where they come from. It just is what it is. Let's just call it what let's call a spade, and just it is what it is. All right. Now I'm gonna take a little quick break, and then my next topic is gonna be about the whole man-woman relationship and women being submissive or being independent of men. How should that relationship be? All right. And if you want to join that conversation, all you gotta do is go to this link. Just go to that link and you can come on here. We can talk about it. All right. I am not afraid to talk about it. Let's do it. But anyway, y'all sit tight. I'm taking me a little break here, and I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain here. If you enjoyed my content, do me a favor. Like the video, comment on the video, share the video, and of course, hit that subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the love and support. Until next time, I'm gone.
Working 50 hours a week, having that structure. I knew that I wanted.
Claim you saved, drinking, smoking, gambling, partying, looking like prostitutes and strippers, pants hanging down, and you represent Christ? No, you represent club, you represent party, you represent strippers, you represent
Somebody gotta do it.
and you represent pimping. Go ahead.
I ain't like these other Christians, I'm a real life savage. They gon' say I'm prone to violence, got a slaying demon habit. I know you would try to saying, dog, I'm seeing what you practice. Tell saying I won't smoke, I'm outside, catch me in traffic. Quoted 1 John 3, I just read it, I ain't write it. Seeing usually have control of my flesh, I had to fight it. It's a narrow path, so I know the world won't like it. If you a child of God, you practice righteousness as he is righteous. Wait. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 10, cause there's no longer a sacrifice if you willfully sin. They say Bryson need to chill cause he gon' make them mad again. I don't care who get offended, but I'm still going in. Children of Satan are obvious, tell me who are you? If you don't practice righteousness, you not of God, yeah it's true. 1 John chapter 3 verse 10, read it through. Romans 6, cause you're also died with Christ, now you knew. And I know that it's confusing cause the church been telling lies. And you know the world gon' hate you, dog, so please don't be surprised. And that's verse 13. First the old you dies, receive knowledge of the truth, then you can open your eyes. I ain't like these other Christians, I'm a real life savage. They gon' say I'm prone to violence, got a slaying demon habit. I know you would try to saying, dog, I'm seeing what you practice. Tell saying I won't smoke, I'm outside, catch me in traffic. Quoted 1 John 3, I just read it, I ain't write it. Seeing usually have control of my flesh, I had to fight it. It's a narrow path, so I know the world won't like it. If you a child of God, you practice righteousness as he is righteous. Hold on, while y'all theology and contradict the word, hold on. Right, reject scripture to believe what you heard, hold on. If the God of the Bible isn't who you serve, then you probably worship an idol, let the Antichrist emerge. Wait, I know what you were taught in the church, but why can't I find that in the chapter verse? And I know it sound good when preaching, but he curse. That's what happens when you add to the word, it gets worse. I know what y'all were taught in the church, but why can't I find it in the chapter verse? And I know it sound good when preaching, but he curse. That's what happens when you add to the word, it gets worse. Hold on.
All things are passed away.
I ain't like these other Christians, I'm a real life savage. They gon' say I'm prone to violence, got a slaying demon habit. I know you would try to saying, dog, I'm seeing what you practice. Tell saying I won't smoke, I'm outside, catch me in traffic. Quoted 1 John 3, I just read it, I ain't write it. Seeing usually have control of my flesh, I had to fight it. It's a narrow path, so I know the world won't like it. If you a child of God, you practice righteousness as he is righteous.
You encourage, Lord God, all of us, but specifically the mothers and the women in the house today. Would you draw us in, Lord God, to this incredible...
All right, y'all, one more song, and then I'm gonna get right back into the topic. Women being submissive to men, or should women be independent? We're gonna get to that conversation. That's gonna be a hot one. If you want to join the conversation, I'm gonna post the link here shortly when I come back, and let's get to the conversation. This is the Captain's Quarters Show. I am your host, L. Milliner, the Captain. Let's go.
Portrait of what authentic biblical womanhood looks like.
You and these other girls, what the difference is? Girl, you feminine, not a feminist. God formed you from my rib, back to Genesis. Proverbs 31, woman, verse 26. And they ask what you been doing. One flesh with your husband, you submit to him. Homeschool your kids so the devil can't get to him. Train them up and you hope the word stick to him. Wait, if you a biblical wife, this your song. Teach your kids right from wrong and you take care of the home. Hold up, hey, you ain't posting naked on the gram. Ain't for everyone to see, cause it's only for your man. Hold up, wait a minute, you can cook, you can clean. You a God-fearing woman and that's how you got to bring. Hold up, hey, and your husband go to work to provide, cause he love you like Christ love the church. Hold up, get married, have kids, stay married. When you do it God's way, you ain't weird. Get married, have kids, stay married. And watch out for the serpents, beware. You and these other girls, what the difference is? Girl, you feminine, not a feminist. God formed you from my rib, back to Genesis. Proverbs 31, woman, verse 26. And they ask what you been doing. One flesh with your husband, you submit to him. Homeschool your kids so the devil can't get to him. Train them up and you hope the word stick to him. I know some gon' be offended, but it's what they need. They tryna be a boss, girl, you bringing up your seed. And your husband is the head, you let him take the lead. Cause when you do it God's way, that he gon' bring you peace. They pushing wickedness in school, so your kids at home train a child up the way they should go before they grown. They will not depart from it when they on their own. And I know that all the Jezebels gon' hate the song. Get married, have kids, stay married. When you do it God's way, you ain't worried. Get married, have kids, stay married. And watch out for the serpents, beware. You and these other girls, what the difference is? Girl, you feminine, not a feminist. God formed you from my rib, back to Genesis. Proverbs 31, woman, verse 26. And they ask what you been doing. One flesh with your husband, you submit to him. Homeschool your kids so the devil can't get to him. Train them up and you hope the word stick to him. You and these other girls, what the difference is?
Yeah, submit to him. Train your child up in the way that they should go, and they will not depart from it. Let's go. Now, there was a conversation that I was having with somebody on Facebook, all right? And they were talking about this whole Harrison Butker situation, right? So if you don't know about Harrison Butker, he's an NFL player. He's the kicker for the Chiefs. He's won like 2-3 championships with the Chiefs as the kicker. And he was at a commencement graduation for I think it was Benedictine or Benedictine College. All right. He was giving the commencement speech and he basically said, I'm just going to paraphrase, but he said that, he was so grateful to have a wife that supported him and was a mother that took care of the home and took care of the children that they've had, and was just willing to support her husband as a mother should. And he was talking about how these young people now, especially in colleges and whatnot, they're just taught that your biggest accomplishment in life, if you're a woman or a man or whoever, is to go get you a degree and go get this great job, making all this money, and just, superficial stuff, right? Just all about materials. And he was saying that the biggest role a woman can play, and the best role, the most gratifying role, the most satisfying role, the most productive role that a woman can play is to be a wife and a mother. Lord have mercy, why did that man say that? Right? Well, he said it because it's just the truth. But man, these folks came out the woodwork, okay, getting mad at what he said. What did he say wrong? What's wrong? Ladies, what's wrong with a woman being a wife and a mother? And that being her number 1 and 2 roles in life. Like, before she's a doctor, before she's a lawyer, before she's a teacher, before she's whatever, a manager at Walmart or whatever the case is, before she's the CEO of a Fortune 200 company. Before that, she's a mother and a wife. If you know what I'm saying, if she's a mother and a wife is what I'm saying. What is wrong with a woman being a mother and a wife? Like, so anyway, he had those comments, and these women are going crazy. And there was this one person in particular that posted something about me, right? Literally, tagged me, put me in the post, and was like, I had this to say. So I'm gonna find this post, and I'm gonna kind of show this conversation. So I promise y'all, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I do not come for people when it comes to social media. I don't come bothering people like just like randomly. I just reflect back what you bring to me. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say about whatever the topic is, but I'm not gonna be personal about it. I'm just gonna keep it about the topic. But when you decide to get personal or whatnot, then now you've opened the door up. So don't get mad if I hit you a little bit harder than what you hit me with. Okay, just saying. Just let fair warning. All right. Now, let me find this post. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. And once again, if you want to join this show, there's the link right there. Right there. That's the link right there. So it's that simple. All right. You'll pop up on the screen over here. I'll see you. Nobody else will see you at first. I'll see you pop up, and I'll, put your name in there so I know who you are and stuff. If you get on here talking crazy, I'm gonna take you off. But if you want to have a real conversation, jump on there. Let's go. I'm here. I got time. So let's talk about it. But anyway, let's get back to this post. Let's see here. Now, Tracy Jennings. All right. So she made a post, and then I commented on it. So then she made another post about me, right? Putting my comment in the post. Now, you know what? Before I even do that, shout out to Tracy Jennings, man. She does a lot of work with animals. She cares a lot about dogs and cats and squirrels and monkeys and everything else. But when it comes to these people, she's a little different. You're a little different, man. She don't want to submit to a man, but she'll submit to an animal. That's crazy. That's a different level of living. Am I gonna be able to find this? She posts like 1,000 times a day. Oh, she posts like 1,000 times a day. It's crazy. Oh, is this it? I found it. I don't know how I found it that fast, but I found it. All right. Hopefully y'all can read this. Yeah, y'all can read that. Y'all can read that. So she posted, "What is a diabolical lie?" So, because Butker said this right here, because I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. That's what he said at the commencement. All right. Because basically the world has told women, you can be equal to the man. You don't need a man. You can do, whatever. Y'all can make babies by yourself and all this stuff, which is impossible. You need a man. Men built the house you live in. Men built the car that you drive in. Men built the cell phone that you use. Anyway, I keep going, right? Men are in the military, protect you, in police, fire department. Whenever the house is on fire, a man comes. When you need police, a man comes. Like, you see more women now, but predominantly every police department is men. Okay, let's just be real. So she says, what is the diabolical lie? Because the women I talk to every day believed in Disney movies, especially Beauty and the Beast. I would say they believe these were society's diabolical lies. So just curious as to what he is referring to. Now, in order to understand what I said here, there was another post where she said something and she kind of like really going at me about it with the whole Christy Nome shooting her dog thing, which I can get into that maybe later on. But and I talked about it already, I think, on another show. But so have that in mind. So then I commented on here and I said, women like yourself have become too stone-hearted to submit to a man. The woman's nature is to be submissive to men. Because many of y'all lack the quality of submission, society has lost its way. When women run society, it crumbles. Hence, look at America. Men lead, women follow. It's called order. Lord have mercy. Why did I say that? Because all these women came out the woodwork. They thought I was Harrison Butker for a second. And all that energy came to me, which is cool because here I am. I'm right here. So if y'all want to jump on here I am. Make sure nobody's on there. Let me see. Okay, yeah, nobody's up here yet. So it is what it is. I'll wait. So then we get into this conversation. She says, I would love for you to tell this to the hundreds, thousands of survivors of domestic violence. I counsel probably 50 or so a month, maybe 1 or 2 are male. So according to you, they should submit, endure the physical, sexual, emotional, and financial abuse. Tell them just be strong and take it. Angry faces. Yes, that is what most religious groups tell them, that it is their fault. The statistics are staggering. Is this what you would tell your daughter? So first off, all women need to have respect and love for themselves, right? You should respect your body enough to not let the man that you know is going to do you wrong have his way with you and possibly impregnate you. And now you're kind of like stuck together, kind of sort of for like the next 18 years. Maybe women need to get more choicey. What's the word? They need to be more particular, right, about who they choose to be with. Maybe perhaps, right? Maybe perhaps. Because when men get with the wrong women and we deal with the issues that men deal with, no, y'all don't come to our rescue and say, well, poor man, poor this or whatever. It's like, men, you gotta eat that up, man. Charge it to the game and move on, right? But when it's a woman, it's like, poor her, she's been abused emotionally, whatever that means, verbally, whatever that means, because then again, it's subjective, right? So what one person calls abuse, somebody else just calls, I'm just talking to you, right? Just telling you something. So it gets real muddy right there. It gets real muddy when it comes to people telling you what somebody did to them or said to them that hurt them. It's not really objective, it's more subjective, especially when you didn't hear it yourself. Somebody just telling you that person did this to me is like, you just agree with them, believe it. People lie to you all the time anyway. People lie all the time about dumb stuff anyway. So let's keep it going. So she said that to me, and then of course another lady jumps in. Please don't give any oxygen to El Milliner and his chauvinistic, self-indulgent, paternalistic, misogynist views regarding women in American society. His kind need to be kicked back to the 50s where they belong. Submissive to men, not this woman. So that's why you don't have a man, probably, right? That's I mean, come on. That's why you have a house full of dogs and cats and squirrels and monkeys and gorillas and all kind of turtles and lizards and stuff, right? Not saying all women do that, but I mean, come on. Typically, you post something like that, that's telling me you have a house full of animals and stuff and plants and all that stuff. That's why another man's not with you, right? Because men don't want to be with a woman that's always combating, always fighting back, and I'm not gonna do such and such, and I'm my own woman and stuff. Men don't want to deal with that. That's too much of a headache. We want peace. Men want peace, right? That's all we want. Oh, was that a guy? Hold on a second. Is that a guy? Noel. Oh, he's a guy. He's a one guy. He actually commented. He actually commented a what was that? GIF or GIF, whatever they call it. Right. I mean, all right, buddy. Hey, you can come on here too, man. Anyway, let's get back to everybody else. So then, so they going back and forth, right? This other lady, Sherry Williams, said, believing men will lead us is the diabolical lie. I mean, y'all proving my case. These women do not respect men. They don't want men saying anything. Men can't even have an opinion. I can't even have an opinion. Right? Like, they'd rather me. Another lady said something, called me a fool and all kind of stuff. Like, they would rather me not even exist or not be speaking at all than have my own opinion, right? That goes against their opinion, God forbid, right? And then they all do this thing where when you go back to them with just hitting them with some facts, their thing is to then like turn around and play victim. They'll do that. Like, it's like you're getting on here talking about other women that are victims, although you're not telling me you are one at that time. You're going back telling me about I talk to women who are victims of this and that. And then when I'm killing you with facts, right? When I'm beating you down, slapping you down with facts, figuratively speaking, then you turn victim. That's the game that they play, right? But these are the women who want you as a man to listen to what they have to say, but they don't want to listen to what you have to say because you're a man, right? They feel intimidated. They feel threatened by your mere presence, but they don't mind when they call police and a man shows up. They don't mind when the house is on fire or somebody's having a heart attack in their house and a man shows up. They don't mind when they're having a house built and it's all men building the house. They don't mind when the trash man comes, right? And it's 4 guys in the truck, a man driving, a man in the passenger side, and 2 men on the back getting the trash. They don't mind that, right? As long as the men are keeping society running, they don't mind. Say they're not going to admit that, but they don't mind it because it's just what it is. But when a man like Harrison Butker comes out and says to a bunch of graduates, "Hey, women, y'all been lied to. The biggest reward in life is for you to be married and have kids and raise your kids with your husband." Oh my God, that is earth shattering. He might as well have walked up to every one of these strong, independent women and slapped them in the face. He might as well have, right? Insanity. So anyway, so let's get to because I'm a believer. I'm a believer. All right. Whatever you want to say about that, I'm a believer though. So these women who are saying this, they are not believers. Can't be. When I say believers, I'm talking about a Christian, a person that believes in Christ, right? That believes in God. There's no way that they believe in God. It can't. Now, I got my good old scripture up here. So any woman who wants to claim that they are a Christian, if you don't tell me you're a Christian, then and y'all love to say everything in the Bible is true. I believe God's word and all that stuff. Well, let's get to God's word. Let's see what God had to say about this situation. Ephesians 5:21. Submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. Submit to one another. So that means I have to submit, right, as the man, as the husband. Okay. I'm not saying I ain't gonna submit. I submit to my wife. I love my wife dearly, right? Even we have issues, but every now and then we butt heads. But I have to come back to the table and say, look, we're gonna come back together and speak to one another. We're gonna work this out, right? I have no issue with that. Have no issue. I submit to my wife. Also, it says, wives, this is verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. Who is the Lord? That's Christ, right? So it's telling you to submit to your husband as you do to Christ. Uh-oh. That sounds like it's going against y'all's belief system right now. Christian women. Let's go verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife. It don't say y'all love to spin this. Here we go. Like y'all love to spin it. No, the man is the head of the household. No, that ain't what it says. It don't say nothing about no house. It says that the husband is the head of the wife, of his wife. That means he's over his wife. If y'all know what the head means, that means he's the leader. Numero uno. Okay? What they say in French? That's what the French number one is UN. One. Right? So in the household, the man is the leader. Now, in order, women love to go, and here's what they do. They'll say, well, but I'm only gonna lead. I mean, I'm only gonna follow a man who's making this type of money. He's driving this kind of car. He's got this kind of house. He's what, you know what I'm saying? Like there's all these like worldly standards that they want you to meet first, right? They have their own list of standards, and then they'll submit based on what the Bible said. But the Bible don't say anywhere in this scripture that a man got to have this, and that going on for you to submit. It says to submit to him. Okay? Now it says, so wives, submit to your husband. He's the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, his body, of which he is the Savior. Now, as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit to their husbands in everything. Uh-oh. This not chauvinistic, misogynistic, and all them other words that lady used. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I got a certain level of intelligence. I can actually read the words. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, they love to put that label on you. I'm just reading the Bible. If you a Christian believer, you say that the Bible does not lie and you believe it. I'm reading verbatim what it says. This is the New International Version. Imagine what the King James Version will say. Imagine what the Geneva Bible would say. Those are older than the New International Version. This is nice. You know what I'm saying? This is the nice version I'm reading. Like, man. It's husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, to make her holy, cleansing her by the washing with water through the word, and to present her to himself as a radiant church, without stain or wrinkle or any blemish, but holy and blameless. In the same way, husbands ought to love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. After all, no one ever hated their own body, but they feed and care for their body just as Christ does the church, for we are members of his body. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. This is a profound mystery, but I am talking about Christ and the church. However, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. Now, if y'all disagree with that, you are not a true believer. And if you are married to a man, then you living a lie right now. Like all the way a lie, because that ain't the way that's supposed to go. I'm just calling it what it is. None of us are perfect coming into this world, right? I am not perfect coming into this world. All right, I don't have everything right. I don't live everything correct like that, right? But as I learn more, I do better. And just because you don't do something to perfection doesn't mean that you don't have to acknowledge that it's the right thing to do and it's the right way to go. See, people want, when you say certain things should be done a certain way, they want you to be living out that way that you're talking about perfectly. And when you don't walk that out perfectly, then they're going to say, see, even you don't even do it. So it's a lie or whatever. No, just because the standard is up here and I'm right here doesn't mean that I should bring the standard down to my level. That's not how that's supposed to go. It's not how that goes. The standard is the standard. God put it up here. Therefore, if I'm right here, I should be working my way up. I shouldn't want the standard to come down to me. So, anybody want to say something different about that, you are welcome to get on here and talk about it. And I know y'all done seen me live. So, go on, jump on here, strong woman. Let's see here. My guy Loser said, I heard the women's jerseys for that football player who spoke truth sold out. So obviously there's a lot of women who agree with him. Man, absolutely. Absolutely. Man, it's a lot of women who agree. A lot of women do. But there's a lot of women who don't agree. And those women are poisoning the minds of other women. You got mothers that raise their daughters to hate men, to not respect men, to not want to submit to a man, because they say that a man is going to just use them and abuse them. You got women that will outright lie on men and say, he did this to me. He put his hands on me. He called me out my name and stuff. Complete lies. They will do anything to get the upper hand on a man. This stuff happens all the time. Not saying every last woman that says something about what a man did is lying, but there are plenty of cases of women claiming men did something to them that they did not do. And just because a man is critical of you in whatever way, that doesn't mean he's verbally abusive or emotionally, y'all love to say that, emotionally abusive, verbally abusive. Just because a man doesn't agree with your lifestyle or like something about what you said or did doesn't mean he's being abusive. Y'all got to cut that out. Got to cut that out. Yeah, that's man. But I'm gonna sit on here. Look, I got to How long have I been on here? I've been on here an hour and 20. I give it some more time, man. Look, I'm gonna finish up the conversation and say this. Then I'm just gonna chill. And if somebody wants to jump on here, they can and rebut what I'm saying. But basically, man, look, men were put here to be first in line. God created man first. Out of man, he created woman. Right? The woman was created to be the helpmeet of the man. That's what she was created for. Right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull up another scripture for y'all. And I appreciate people when I talk about the Bible online. People say like I'm trying to be a Bible scholar. Thank you. I'm not a Bible scholar. I don't even really know like scriptures just like off the top of my head. Like I can't just say, oh, that's Chronicles 1:3 or whatever. I can't really do that for real. But I read it. It's in me. Like it's in here. So I'll say something like, hey, I know in the Bible it says this right here. Like it's in me to know that, but I can't tell you verbatim what it says or where it's at. But anyway, when you let that stuff like really settle in you, it's in there. It's in you. Right? So you don't have to know everything. People love to have like complete, be like a dictionary in their mind or whatever, reference stuff. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not a Bible scholar. I don't do that type of thing. But if I know something's in there, I'm gonna find it for you. I'll do that. I'll say, look, I know it says this right here. I'm paraphrasing, and then I'll find it for you. And I'll show you I'm not lying about it. I appreciate the Bible reference. No problem. No problem, man. Because hey, at the end of the day, I'm a believer. So I'm a believer, and so all of my beliefs are based on the Bible. I don't want to make my own beliefs up and then God has to come meet me on my belief level. No, that's not how that goes. I put my beliefs to where God is. Let's see here. All right. I'm gonna read this right here. This is Proverbs 31, verses 10 through 31. And then I'll be done with the Bible part. And like I said, any woman that wants to get on here, you get on here and rebut what I'm saying. Let's see here. A wife of noble character who can find. So that he asking the question. A wife of noble character who can find? Who can find a woman of noble character? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her, and she lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. So she ain't just taking care of the man, she's taking care of others, right? Other people. It says that she's provides food for her female servants. So she's providing for the people that are under her. Amazing. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand, she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Woo. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive, and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gates. And on that note, I'm gonna chill out. And if you want to jump on here, you can jump on here. Get y'all some music. Like I said, if you want to jump on here and talk about this whole woman be submissive thing, or should women be independent and all that good stuff, hop on here. There's the link right there. That's the link right there. It's that simple. So I don't want any of y'all to be like, he's scared to have a conversation. No, you can jump on here. Sometimes my guy Loser said, sometimes the truth is hard to hear, but we still need to hear it. Man, that's a fact. There's things that the truth is revealed to me at times, and I'm like, man, ooh, that's me. That's me is talking about. Oh, there's times that people point things out to you, and it's like, man, like, okay, I didn't really realize that about myself, but okay, that's kind of a hard one to swallow, but you gotta just accept it. See, men get criticized, and men are it's assumed that men just have to have tough skin to deal with critique, right? People being negative and stuff like that. As a man, you just gotta shake it off and keep going, right? We can't sit around and whine and complain and all that type of stuff. Women, on the other hand, can, if they feel a tinge of critique and negativity, they can just cry. You know what I'm saying? They can cry foul. They can cry, they're a victim or whatever. They're being victimized. And everybody's gonna come to the rescue. That's just what societally, that's what happens. Right? And I'm not gonna get on here and be cool with that. It's not all right. But these feminists are the worst ones because they'll degrade men as these women have done. I'm not going to submit to no man, and a man ain't going to tell me whatever. I'm an independent, strong woman. That's what they were saying on the post. I'm an independent, strong woman or whatever. Okay, all right. Well, how about next time you need something built, fixed in your house? Next time you take your car to the mechanic, and it's all men, How about you tell them you don't need no man to fix it? Tell them get the woman to fix it, and see how many women they got at that mechanic shop that can fix your car. How about that? I dare you. Go to the dealership. Go to any mechanic and tell them I want a woman to fix my car, and see how many women show up. I don't think women who disagree with you would have the courage to debate you live. They just want to live in their girl boss delusion. Yeah. You know, I said this many, many, many times. It's easy to get on a public forum and comment and say all kind of stuff. But I've done this time and time again where I'll tell people in the post, like, look, I know you didn't know it, but I got a show. You can come on my show. We can have this conversation in real time where you can hear me, I can hear you out, and it's not a bunch of typing and all that stuff where stuff gets lost in translation. Come on my show. And they never do it. It's like as soon as I say that, they stop talking. They get quiet. They're like, "Oh man, nobody want to come on your lane show, whatever," and they leave. It was a woman that disagreed with me about the LGBT thing in the library, the books in the library. There was a Target County, Alabama, which is a Prattville, Alabama. It's like 15 minutes up the road, up the interstate. They had an issue where the director of the library was putting out information that he shouldn't have been putting out to the public. He broke policy. They had books in the LGBT kids. They had LGBT books in the kids section of the library. They were obviously inappropriate, and so they were removed. And so from that, there was a lot of people who were against that removal. They want kids to be indoctrinated and confused by LGBT agenda. And there were women that were talking about it in a post, and I commented on there, and then I was like, you know what? Come on my show. If y'all feel this strong about it, come on my show and we can talk about it. And one woman was like, okay, I'll check you out or whatever. I just don't want to get, whatever. She was scared. And I said, look, I've had people on my show that disagree with me. I've had 2-3 guys, 4 people on my show that don't agree with me on a lot of stuff, and we had a conversation. And one guy came back twice, and I mopped the floor with him twice, and he still came back for a second time. So, just saying, and of course, I haven't heard anything from that lady. I forgot her name. That was months ago. And I just remembered it just now, just talking about this. It just reminded me, like, yeah, that lady, she had the opportunity, and where's she at? Strong woman, but she's nowhere in sight. One woman said, "I come on there, but you gotta pay me." It might be the same woman. You gotta pay me. Like, pay you for what? You're on my platform. Like, what are you talking about? I am inviting you to my platform. Why would I pay you? I'm not. Nobody's paying me. I do. People gotta understand. Like, they think everybody does something for money, or that everybody does something for an ulterior motive or whatever. I am on here because I go to work in about 3 hours or so. I'm not making $1 right now. I'm not making a penny. I'm doing this because I enjoy having the conversations, and I think it's important that these conversations get had publicly. Like, we need to have these public conversations like this where people have the access to hear different sides of a situation, and then they can look into it. They can say, hey, okay, you know what? I really didn't think I would agree with him. I really don't like his approach. I really don't like his delivery. He sounds like a butthole, but I can't refute what he was saying. He made some sense. So they'll go back and look into it, and there might be a different person next year. Next year they may be a whole another person. Like, as far as their growth and maturity as people, and understand that people have differences of opinion, and maybe they came to God or whatever. You never know what could happen, you know, right? And there's a lot of people that watch and they never comment. There's a lot of people that watch and never react and they never do anything. But they see me in public at the store. I've had this happen many times. People see me at the store and they're like, "Hey man, I don't get into all that social media stuff, but I see what you're doing. I appreciate it." I had people do that over the years. They'll send me messages, but some people just don't want to have the conversation out loud. Here I am. I'm here out loud. If you disagree with me, here's the time. Here's your opportunity to make me look like an idiot. I welcome you to come and make me look like an idiot. And no one shows up. So it's like, what do y'all really, you know what I'm saying? Demons have to attack in numbers. Demons can't attack by one-on-one. Y'all ever notice that? In the Bible, the demons always came in groups. These people do the same thing. They can't come one-on-one. They have to come in groups. When you isolate one, they don't know what to do. They lose it. They run away. Appreciate you, man. You're doing great work, Captain. Appreciate that. They have to come in groups. Otherwise, they can't stand on their own. So they feel very emboldened. They feel confident. They feel all independent. They feel like a super independent woman. They feel like Wonder Woman. When they on them post and it's like 3 other people that's agreeing with them, and they feel like, okay, we getting them. We telling him what we think about him, whatever. All right, well, come on my show. Let's talk about it one-on-one. Oh, I can't do that because I got this going on and I'm scared and I don't know what you might be trying to set me up on. We're online. What am I gonna do? We're online. You're not coming to my home, okay? You're not coming to my home. You're not invited to my home. So if you show up, if something happened to you, that's your fault. All right. Just let you know that's your fault. It ain't my fault. I'm not at your house, so don't come to my house unless I invite you. So we're doing online. We're online. Nobody's gonna hurt you. You might get your feelings hurt, maybe, but then again, that's not my fault. I'm not gonna call you out your name or nothing like that. As long as you come on here with respect and you give respect back. Ask Nick Denman that was on here that I wiped the floor with about the whole pro-abortion and pro-choice and stuff. Ask Zoo Faded when he was on here. We had a great conversation. He's bisexual and now he's trans and all kind of crazy stuff. And I told him, you're not conservative. He's trying to say he's conservative. No, you're not. You're not conservative. Conservatives aren't trans and bisexual and all that. No. That's completely against conservatism. That's the opposite. So, but anyway, I had them guys on here. I had another lady on here. Her name was like Nay something. Pro-black, pro-gay, pro all kind of stuff. She been on with me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I have no issue having a conversation because look, guess what? Here's the secret. People think that we as Christians are only wanting to change the mind of the person we're speaking to or speaking with. Right? But for me, it's not about that person. Like, cool. If they agree with me, that'd be awesome. But I don't go into the conversation with the intent to change their mind. I'm going into the conversation for a person who's watching, who is just interested in hearing both sides, for them to hear the conversation and then take from the conversation what they need to go let that digest. And who knows what can come from that. It's about the other people that's watching, not about the person that I'm talking to or talking with. That's the secret. That's what people don't quite understand. They think, oh, you're a Christian. Y'all just trying to beat us over the head with your beliefs. Aren't y'all doing the same thing? Aren't y'all beating us over the head with your beliefs? What is the difference? So because I don't agree with you, I'm a hater. But if you don't agree with me, what does that make you? Right? If I'm a hater because I don't agree with you, if you don't agree with me, what are you? There you have an issue. Uh-oh. Let me see something here. Man, if y'all on here, as y'all watch this, man, hit that like. If you're on Facebook, hit that like, share it. If you're on YouTube, hit that like, hit that subscribe as well. Hit that subscribe. I think I'm at like 850 something, 855, 6, somewhere in there. And I ain't really been on YouTube like a lot lately. I've been really focusing on Facebook. And then I do the radio show over on newsradio1440.com. I do that second Wednesday every month. So we've been doing that since January. It's called The Kitchen Table. Myself, Pastor Willie Knight of North Montgomery Baptist Church. He's the pastor out there. He and myself have been on there. We've had a few shows, just me and him, with the host of the show, of the main show, Decisions with Kevin Elkins. It was just us three, but then we've had Miss Barbara Mays, who I respect a lot. Wonderful lady. Seasoned woman that's been around, that's done radio, that's, very common sense, conservative, just great all around person. She joined us for a show. Was that last month or the month before? I can't remember. Maybe in March. And then we had Kamisha Darkness Alvarado, right? She calls herself Sunshine. I call her Darkness. But she's been on the last couple of shows, and she just adds a different layer to it. She just adds. She's what people think that I am, right? People think that I am a guy who doesn't work well with others. I'm just always being negative, and all this stuff. But then when people deal with me in real life, or they deal with me on the show, even, I listen to what people have to say. I give my 2 cents. We have a back and forth. Sometimes it may get a little bit, it's an argument, but not like, I don't call people out their name. I don't just do just stuff like that just to do it. You see what I'm saying? But people had this view about me because of what I post and what I talk about. But when they deal with me in real life, they see it's different, right? I stand on what I say in real life, in your face, or on here. But this woman that I'm talking about right now, Darkness, she's just negative. Everything you say, she got to say something just negative, right? Just complete opposite. That's what she does. That's what she does to everybody. She does it to everybody. I don't care if you're a woman, black woman, black man, white man, me, you know what I'm saying? Arab, Mexican, Cuban, black, white, half-breed guy. It doesn't matter. She's just a negative person in general. Right? I mentioned earlier about the whole Amy Dix getting shot. And the guy that got arrested got a bond and everything. And I was talking about the idiot that said, well, if he didn't know her, why would he intend to shoot her? And I was like, no, that's an idiot, right? That's the idiot I was talking about, her. She said, because if he didn't know her, why would he want to shoot her? Because there's people who have such thing as mistaken identity. They are going for one person. The person looks like them, maybe driving the same kind of car, colored car, everything. They shoot the wrong person. Could be a gang initiation. Hey, go shoot somebody, and you get in this gang. That happens. When I was in middle school, there was a guy. His gang initiation was to go rob. I think it was a Wendy's, go rob a store. He chose a Wendy's. Okay, we was in middle school when that happened. I saw many kids go and do things to other kids that they didn't know, whatever, just walk up to them and slap them in the face and all kind of crazy stuff. because the mission was to go do that, and then you can get in and be a part of us. That's what. So there are scenarios where a person may not know an individual and go harm them, and that idiot said that don't happen. Right? Crazy, crazy, crazy. Again, I told this story earlier in this live. In Atlanta, Georgia, there was a older black man in his like 60s, 70s, walking to his vehicle, and another black man, younger, walked up behind him, shoots him in the back of the head, and robs him. Didn't know him. So by her logic, that didn't happen because nobody shoots somebody that they don't know. Like, people say anything. They like they really don't. They don't even think about what they're saying. They just say stuff. They say stuff, and then they're just hoping somebody's gonna say, "Yep, I agree with that." But they call me the fool. I'm the idiot, though. I mean, wow, 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 wow. But yeah, I'm waiting for any strong woman. I mean, you can be, man. I don't care if you Mexican, black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian. You know what I'm saying? You be Filipino, Asian. You could be Chinese, Japanese, Korean. You know, in what a Vietnamese, Laotian, whatever, man. South American, be Venezuelan. I don't. It don't matter. I want a strong woman, the strongest of the strong, to jump on here, have this conversation about women being submissive to men. I say, because God said it, women should be submissive to men, right? That's what God says. So I agree with that. If you disagree, which a lot of y'all tended to disagree with me, I just want y'all, Patricia, Tracy, what's the mother? I don't know what all the women's names. Patricia, Tracy, there's a woman named Sherry. Any of y'all strong women. There's a guy on there named Noel. Bring your tail on here too, bro. Like, you come on, you can get it too. Otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up in a minute. I've been on here for an hour 47. But what y'all got going on? What y'all want to talk about in the meantime? You can comment. Comment what y'all want to talk about. What y'all want to ask me a question? Get my 2 cents on whatever else going on. There's a lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff happening. But to kind of recap, I covered the Amy Dick shooting. A guy named Michael got arrested. He bonded out $90,000. We talked about the permitless law in Alabama. People want to blame all the gun violence on the permitless carry. That we broke records before that law went into effect last year. And then we talked about the woman situation, the women, men. And I really thought this was gonna be like a real hot thing where people really wanted to say something about it, but I guess not. Right? They'll wait till I get back when I get off alive, then like they'll message me and be like, I couldn't get on because of this right here or whatever. Like, all right, well, hey, how about this? I go live again this week and you don't get on in and we'll see if you want to get on. I bet they won't do it. I bet they're scared. I bet they scared. I bet they scared. Ooh, uh-oh. Bet they scared. They scared to get on here. Oh man. Let me see here. Man, what y'all want to talk about though? While I wait for a strong woman to get on here. Let's see what's happening in. What is this? I don't say. City of Montgomery, Alabama just posted on Facebook. This Friday, McIntyre Community Center will host a teen Mayfest Carnival from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. The festivities will open to teens aged 13 to 17, and staff will be on site to keep everyone safe and happy. Whew. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. My kids won't be there. 13 to 17-year-olds? Nah. uh. Nah. Oh man. Hey, while we waiting on these strong women to show up, if y'all like this shirt right here, right? Let me get that off of there. Let me get that off. There we go. Christ is king. Christ is king. If you like this shirt right here, or if you want a shirt that's, pro God, pro America, that you want to be a banner for doing what's right in America, head on over to theofficertatumstore.com. Pick out your hoodie, your ball cap, your t-shirt, whatever you like. Get 2, 3, 4 items if you'd like to. When you get to checkout, put in ELIS and receive 10% off your total. As long as there's no other promotion going on, because they do have promotions where it's 20% off or 30% off or whatever. Always get the better discount. But if there's nothing going on, put in my discount code ELIS at checkout, get 10% off your total at theofficertatumstore.com. Where y'all women at? Where y'all women at? If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, hit that like. Head on over to the Captain's Quarters Show. Hit that like and that follow as well. Let's see what else is happening. Boy, everybody and their mama talking about P. Diddy. P. Diddy, that man. P. Diddy done did it. That's crazy. That's crazy. But a lot of us, we already knew about P. Diddy from way back in the day. Yeah, we know about P. Diddy from way back in the day, man. Him, R. Kelly, man, it's a lot of them guys, man, that did some stuff. Man, T.I. done been through some stuff. Been through some legal issues and some scandals. Jeezy going through it, man, with his crazy wife or ex-wife, whatever she is to him now. The mother of his child. Crazy that he put a child in that lady. But yeah, them rappers, man, they going through it, man. All them rappers we grew up listening to in my generation, man, they are. Boy, Jay-Z got his day coming though. Jay-Z got his day coming for the things he's allegedly done. Oh man. Well, I'm gonna have to wrap it on up. I guess them strong women ain't gonna show up. It's all good, man. We understand. Y'all only strong online, right? You only strong with them fingers. When them fingers get typing. Y'all real strong with them fingers typing, right? But we understand. We understand. All right. Shout out to the men. Shout out to the women. Appreciate y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the Captain's Quarters Show. I was your host, L. Milliner, the Captain. Until next time. Which will probably be, I'm trying to go live again this week. But until then, I'm gone.